In 2011, former Massachusetts House Speaker Sal DiMasi was sentenced to 8 years in federal prison on corruption charges. A year later, he was diagnosed with neck and throat cancer, which had gone undetected and untreated for months. Now he's been diagnosed with prostate cancer 9 months after a urologist first recommended a biopsy. As a result of all this, his family is seeking what is called a compassionate release. Joining me now is his wife, Debbie DiMasi. Debbie, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
You saw him 2 weeks ago. How sick is he?
I did. We are still waiting to find that out. They just brought him over to the medical facility. He had a bone scan on Friday. He's waiting for a PET scan, and as it stands right now, he has to undergo 42 radiation treatments.
For this prostate thing?
Yes.
He has filed a petition with the Bureau of Prisons asking them to go to court, and they go in front of the same judge who sentenced him,
Yes.
Mark Wolf, asking because of his health, etc., for compassionate release. That was filed in July, is that right?
Yes.
What's the status of that?
We've been going back and forth with them, and now we are still waiting to hear from them.
What does back and forth mean? Lawyer to lawyer kind of thing?
More of Bureau of Prisons to lawyer kind of thing.
And we just heard Marty Walsh, who served under your husband, say he supported this. Are there other leaders in the state who work closely with Sal DiMasi on a whole host of political issues who've actually spoken out and said they too support this, even if they thought he should have gone to jail to begin with? I know that doesn't make you happy, but are there others who are adding their voice to this?
There certainly are others. They have not done so publicly.
Why?
Perhaps because I haven't gone to them recently and said, look, this is very serious now, enough is enough, and I'm asking you for your support. So I do intend to do that.
Do lawyers intend to ask Carmen Ortiz, who was the U.S. attorney in the case, to actually support the petition?
I would hope that they would.
You are contending that, and his petition does, the Bureau of Prisons denied, and by the way, his Bureau of Prisons denied the original recommendation of the judge to have him at Fort Devon,
yes,
so he was close to home,
yes,
that they denied him adequate and timely care. Do you think that was intentional?
I don't know. That there have certainly been things that they've done that I believe are intentional.
Like what?
They have, for instance, I know in the past I've been here, I've talked about the PET scan, and when he had a clean PET scan, they said that he could be transferred. And then they put something called a medical hold on him. When I was down there recently visiting him, he came upon some paperwork, and so the day that they said that his PET scan was clean is the day that they put the medical hold on him, so he couldn't be transferred.
So you think that's to punish him?
Yes.
I read in the petition that your lawyers contend that doctors there altered his medical records 2 years after the fact. Is that true?
Very true.
And that after you did an interview with Lisa Hughes, I think it was in 2014 from Channel 4 WBZ, immediately after that, the next day they call him in to question him. And they not only call him in, but they then confiscate all his possessions, including his legal documents?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
What do you want to say? I mean, it seems to be another sentence after that you're holding back. Is there?
I just find, I've been quiet for 4 years, and I think the way they have treated him and treated others is inhumane. And when I was going through his medical records, I saw that they had diagnosed him with lung cancer. They had treated him for lung cancer, and really it was very toxic to his system. So as soon as I did that interview with Lisa, they called him in. And I think that's retaliatory, and things like that have continued to happen.
Are you worried that by criticizing them, which I think you're doing pretty directly for the first time recently and here, do you worry that there'll be retaliation against him yet again?
I hope not. I mean, they should not be doing this in the first place. And at some point, I mean, my feeling is, how much more can you do to the man? It's the second time he's had cancer, and he's had to wait.
You were also, we should just say, you were lobbying on Beacon Hill because we're one of the 5 states that does not have a compassionate release program, and I know that's pending. Are you hopeful about this? Are you? I mean, you're worried that he's going to die before he's released.
Of
Are
course
you not?
I am. I'm very worried about that, and I hate to say it, but my feeling is that if I can't help Sal, perhaps there's others that I can help. And that's in Massachusetts, and it's also across the United States. We need to know what is happening inside these prisons. And I will go as far as to say, oftentimes they're being given death sentences. That's not the sentence they received, but the lack of care and the lack of concern. And there are people dying. I have so many stories that I could share with you about people dying in prison and dying in shower stalls, dying on the floors. A man didn't get his diabetes medicine. All of his toes had to be amputated. I mean, this is the United States of America.
I hope it doesn't happen to your husband, who is one of the chief people behind universal health care in the Commonwealth as well,
Yes.
ironically. Debbie DiMasi, good luck. Thanks
Thank
so
you,
much
Jim.
for your time. I appreciate it.